Shout out to Oshay Duke Jackson on this video. Let me get into the breakdown of this. Let's just check out what's going on with this guy. This guy's named Floyd Wallace. A lot of this whole passport bro situation that's going on is crazy. It's a big investigation going on. They say he's facing like 34 years or 35 years or so. I know he's gonna tell. The hell he out there. Some people saying, oh no, he's gonna have to tell on the locals. Nah. I think as an American citizen or a citizen of a foreign country, they want you to give up American people or foreign people. They want you to tell them about other people that's like you, that was out here, that's coming to their country to trick off or do whatever the hell y'all coming out here to do. Tay salute, bro. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? That's what they want, bro. That's what they want. If you could give up any other information, they want that too. But trust me, they want to make a big spectacle of this thing. They want to make a big scene of this thing. So trust me, they want more Americans. But it's crazy to see what that guy supposedly caught into. It's like, I think allegedly they were saying that he was the one that was initiating the thing with the on some PDF type vibes, bro. He had car service, or he had like some car transportation, and he was linking people, and he had like he was getting paid or whatever the case may be, man. Like he was involved, internally involved, straight in all the trafficking of minors. Okay, they allege, I think 6 years old, man. Craziest thing I heard, bro. Craziest thing I heard. 6 years old. I don't care what country you're in. What the hell's going on? Why are you even attached to something like that? Why is your name even associated with something like that? We didn't see them run down on everybody and say everybody was involved with that. So everybody's saying that every one of the passport bros is doing that. I'm not going to say that, but I can't say what no one's doing. But at the same time, we don't know who knew about what the hell Floyd was doing. Because everybody probably got their own little secrets that they holding up, and they exposed this type shit. And if any one of them knew anything about this Floyd godson and y'all ain't tell this nigga something, bro, that shit is insanity.
Oh no, you can't.
Insanity.
Bullshit right there.
Insane, bro. Insane.
Let me say this. All right. This is an individual action.
In 2015, I was on my way to Poland from Sacramento, California, and I came across a YouTube channel called The Charles Tyler Show. Now, The Charles Tyler Show, aka The Black Man's Option, he was a brother from Philadelphia living in Rio de Janeiro, and he was telling black men to get their passports and come to Brazil. He was the framework for the passport bros, and within his community, I would meet other people, such as Taylor Made Dreams, but more importantly, Aaron Ferris. By the time I met Aaron Ferris, he was not really a YouTuber. He was a subscriber, but he was involved with Charles Tyler's group, and he was also inspired to go.
I do want to understand the roots of this too, because you know what I mean. So I like how Oshay Duke Jackson broke down this and went into the roots of this passport, bro. And then we just see how something starts as maybe an ideology, or something starts from just a one person making a move, and now we got a whole movement. But regardless of whether we take the manosphere or this passport bro type of thing, whether the moves was moving, these are both men that could just go about their way, learn what you learn, and just go do what you do. Both sides had to step on black women that were in America to do both of these things. You hear what I'm saying to you? The manosphere and this shit, whether it's in the manosphere, obviously it gotta be, because it's similar, all similar to me. But I'm just saying, but let's just separate them. I ain't gonna conflate nobody. Let's just say they are separate. I don't know. Okay. What did they really do? Okay. I could take my ideology, I could take some stuff that I learned, boom, 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 and I could start to impart it, start to use it. Now I'm getting women or doing some different things, and now it's all good. But I ain't gotta be kicking people backs and online and be arguing with women and all this other dumb shit to prove my point that I know some shit now that I never knew before. Because a lot of these people never knew nothing before. They tell you, yo, when I met this 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years ago, okay, cool. What happened? What changed? Besides talking points and besides being able to talk about this on the internet. Because when we're walking in real life, we don't hear people talking about none of this stuff. You don't hear people arguing about some of the things that we're arguing about. It's people talking about types and this and that, but you're fucking a fat one and she fucking a fat one. And what the fuck? Let's stop. All this fake it till we make it on social media. It's a lot of that's conflated into a lot of these types of movements or ideologies. Which one of them brothers really went out there with some real structure? I'm gonna go meet me something good. Go get me a woman. If I'm gonna meet a real good woman, this is da 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 da, and I'm gonna have something and build something. And they thinking about marriage or something like that. Nothing like that. Ain't telling you nothing about no God or none of that. Man, it's for all that shit, the same shit. Ain't telling you nothing about no God or nothing like that. Because if you listen to God, you would not be listening to these niggas. Why the fuck would you? Make sense? Stupid.
Oh no, you can't be serious. That is some bullshit right there.
What are you talking about? It makes sense. If you even thought about listening to God, saying you wouldn't be listening to niggas. You're like, I think I could do this by myself. Exactly. Exactly. But what we got right now with this guy, Floyd, is a tragic situation for him, bro. You know what I mean? It's tragic. He's locked up abroad in Brazil. It's crazy out there. This is jail in a wild, okay? He is American, and he's also locked up for things like that. People is looking at you like a plate. You are food, bro, as soon as you walk in the building. Straight up. We don't even know if Floyd gonna make it out that shit. God bless. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it real, bro. And he's facing 30-something years in there. I know he gonna be singing, and who he gonna tell on, I don't know. But all of this will come out in the wash. I know that much. Straight. Let's take a listen. So I could get updated. Y'all get updated with me.
To Brazil, while Charles Tyler is credited as the architect of the passport bro ideology, Aaron Ferris would be credited with coming up with the term passport bros. And at this time, it was a term specifically made for Black American men leaving the United States, finding love elsewhere. At this particular time, the three major countries that you would find these people would be Colombia, Dominican Republic, and Brazil. But there was a problem. The passport bros didn't have the same kind of heavyweight content creators that we had in the Black manosphere. Now, don't get me wrong, the passport bros are a offshoot or a umbrella of the Black manosphere. Okay. But they kind of just had a whole bunch of guys, you know, on streams talking about their issues. And after the death of Kevin Samuels, Austin Holloman would become more popular. And so would the passport bros. They would sort of feel part of the void that Kevin Samuels left behind, although their ideas were diametrically opposed to each other. And while Austin Holloman was traveling the world, he would meet up with another guy by the name of Floyd Wallace. He's the guy that's arrested in Brazil for you know what. Damn. Austin Holloman would find himself in trouble for basically being accused of asking inappropriate questions to Brazilian women, which would cause him to leave town immediately. Austin Holloman would eventually leave the passport bros himself, and then would have ideological differences with the founder of the passport bros, Aaron Ferris. Fast forward. Sorry about that long history. It's kind of what I needed to do to make the video make sense.
He's right, you know.
Floyd Wallace Jr. would be arrested in Brazil for you know what. And the whole passport bro community would be in shock. In fact, it was Aaron Ferris, aka BMT Live's channel, who broke the story. And the story was travel YouTuber Floyd arrested in Brazil.
What?
Now, you see, Aaron Ferris loves passport bros. He created the brand. So look at how he's titling the video. Travel YouTuber Floyd arrested in Brazil. The reason why he's doing that is because he doesn't want Floyd Wallace to be associated with the passport bros. He also understands that in Brazil, they had a bad situation in which Austin Holloman made some mistakes there. And Aaron Ferris was kind of pissed off about that. He doesn't want anybody else destroying the brand. But what did Austin Holloman do? Austin Holloman would make a video called Passport Bros in Brazil with 6-year-olds.
Damn.
Instead of saying travel YouTuber or passport bro or Black American guy, he said passport bros. So basically, passport bros, more than one guy, was messing with 6-year-olds when it was only one guy that got arrested. And he gives some explanation.
And then here's even worse. Sexual exploitation. According to the investigation, the man is part of the movement called the Passport Bros, formed by criminals who use economic power to exploit social vulnerabilities of Latin America and Southeast Asia. In his social media post, he declared himself a sex tourist. And this is why you saw me disassociate myself from the Passport Bro movement. Because listen, I have stated many times, especially when the whole J Rillo thing happened, the Passport Bros should have been a fraternity. That way, when you have somebody that wants to beat on women or be an international drug dealer or be a pedophile, you can automatically say, this person that hasn't paid their membership is not in our database. So that's not one of us.
So the biggest argument that Austin Holloman has here is that Passport Bros has no way of filtering different people in and out of the community. So because there is no filtering way to create this fraternity to make this more exclusive, problems like this happen. But Aaron Ferris was not having it.
This anyway, because once I saw Austin's response in his videos, him labeling the title that he labeled it, saying Passport Bros plural, were caught doing that horrific thing in order to play, social politics is what he's playing at a very horrendous time.
Now, this is a strong point because he's saying, Austin, you are putting Passport Bros in Brazil with 6-year-olds when it was only one person that did that. So why did you classify the entire community Passport Bros, especially a community that you used to be very big in? Now you're putting the whole Passport Bros there out in the title, and that's not the best time to put us out there because you still have some Black men out there. And I'm just, expounding what he's saying, living in Brazil, going to Colombia, and then you put Passport Bros out there. But then he comes back with this.
I thought about it right after I did the stream, and I was like, well, if he wasn't associated with Austin and the so-called Passport Bros in the beginning, he would just be a random sick individual getting caught up doing some sicko shit, right? But because he was kind of ushered into the space,
Yep, right.
right, he was popularized by Austin. That's where the unfortunate association kind of comes with. Now, all these guys I've said, they are not Passport Bros.
Woo! So he says, listen, Austin, you're trying to say that the Passport Bros are caught with these chicks in Brazil, but you are the one that introduced Floyd to the community.
Damn.
And wait a minute.
That makes sense. That make a lot of sense.
I had to do my research, although I already kind of knew what the answer was, but this is what Austin said.
And if you guys don't know, Floyd was in several of my videos, and we all know that Floyd was very, very cringy and very strange. And I'm telling you from hanging out in person with him, very strange. I would have never thought nothing like that, but it's also not shocking.
So Austin Holloman himself admits that, yes, he knew Floyd. He did videos with Floyd. And Austin's not a guy that shies away from mistakes. He's pretty honest. And this is something that Austin said directly when the video started. I know the guy, and I knew something was off with him, but I didn't never think that he would go this far. And I largely do believe him. But that doesn't take away from what Aaron Ferris is trying to say.
Really don't know what somebody's intentions are. And I'm not going to put that on Rello or Austin that they knew what type of time this guy was on. All right. People hide shit like that, you know, from other people. Like, we don't know these people for sure. You never know somebody. You don't even know, half the time, you don't even know the person in the bed that you sleep in. You don't even know that person 100% fully. People are sneaky. People are devious, bro. So I'm not putting this out here, all right, to associate Rello or Austin or anybody else with the individual acts of what this sicko Floyd did.
There's more.
That's what I'm not doing. I'm saying, you know, for a guy like Austin to put the title "Passport Bros Are Messing with 6-Year-Olds in Brazil," all right, in order for clicks and views, in order to continue to disassociate and then reassociate back with the terminology "Passport Bros" is wrong, and I'm here to call it out. All right. Why would you put a heinous title like that in order for shock value in clicks and views? Why would you put that term? And people associate you with Passport Bros more than they do me.
So he argues again the same point. This is horrific. This is heinous. All right? And I'm not associating whatever Jay Rello did in Kenya because no, there was a situation that happened in Kenya. Austin Solomon is now in Kenya, very popular. Jay Rello wanted to come to Kenya, and Jay Rello is very problematic. But again, Jay Rello should not represent all of the Passport Bros. And Austin Holloman did take some heat from Jay Rello coming to Kenya. And even though Austin Holloman had nothing to do with that, but in response to what he is saying, and I'm talking about Aaron Ferris, is that you associated all of us with what happened in Brazil. Aaron Ferris doesn't stop though. He continues on with his assault.
Yeah, most people thought he was a weirdo, and that's why Buddy was, you know, Austin was kind of parading him around like that. He was kind of using that, like,
taking advantage of it. Exactly.
Aaron says he knew that the guy was weird. I'm talking about Floyd. But yet Austin Holloman brought him on his channel because he knew that Floyd was weird. He knew that Floyd would get views. So basically he was using him knowing that he was a weirdo. And again, I can't prove this or prove this for Austin.
I agree.
I'm not sure. But this is,
I agree with that. You know that he was a little slow. Everybody say that he's a little slow. We ain't trying to put that on Floyd, but I'm just saying. You feel me? So maybe we can lean to the way to say Floyd ain't that smart, son, and maybe you know a little bit more, or maybe possibility you put him onto the game or how shit working. It's a possibility that Floyd could have figured out some things on his own, met a couple of shady characters and got into some shady activities. Possible. But the way it seems, the way they talking about Floyd, because I just thought he just got caught up and he was like just doing some STXuals. But it looked like he's trying to line up situations. He got share rides and all types of things, like he's connecting dots allegedly. And if those are the things that he's doing and looking like he's playing his role in this ring, so it's not like he went into the thing, he got caught like Chris Hansen. They ain't saying that. You're not saying like he went to a place and got caught like Chris Hansen. No. They saying he had a call log, he had contacts, he was making connections, he was connecting dots, he was, you know what I mean? So if that's the case, that's crazy. But Floyd is slow to me, man. I ain't trying, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to get at him, but I'm just saying.
It's something that he's accusing Austin of. But this is something that I would widely agree.
The term is in that term, but it's going to stay around. It's not going to stop. All right. It's beyond viral. All right. It is what it is. It's like calling somebody a tourist at this point or an expat. Passport Bro is basically a single man that travels.
Creator of the term, Aaron Ferris, has said something that is very powerful. The term is now mainstream. And basically, that means a single man that travels. Now, first, when it came about, if you look at our predecessor, who was Charles Tyler, he had a page called The Black Man's Option. That was one of the Facebook groups also, and that was a part of his YouTube channel. Now, passport bros means something different. It could even be classified as white people can use the term passport bros. I've seen them cling onto it. I've seen American tourists cling onto it. And so now it can mean anything. And to Austin's point, that's the problem. It means so many things because there is not a lot of organized framework. So when there is not a lot of organized framework, then what happens is that anybody can just join it. And here's what Aaron Ferris could have never thought. Aaron Ferris would have never thought that Passport Bros would take off like it did. Passport Bros became even bigger, if not more notable, than the Black Manosphere community, which is crazy because you had guys like me, you had guys like Kevin Samuels, you had guys like the Angry Man, guys like Obsidian, the dating coaching guys. You know, out of that community comes, you know, the lead attorney, Pocket Watcher with JT, indirectly through me. You know, there's a whole bunch of different talented dudes that came through there. And yet Passport Bros is not just an ideology and framework, it is a lifestyle. But Aaron Ferris had no idea that it would become like this. And so with no real person saying that they're the leader, with no real person having rules, anybody could attach to the framework and the hashtag, and it makes everybody look bad who had it. And then one mistake makes everybody look terrible. Now, here's something else that we got to talk about. The Passport Bros in framework grew largely out of frustration. This is the same thing that killed the Black Manosphere, where you have guys who are in a community because they are fed up with how things are, and so they're going to execute another move. And this is exactly what the Passport Bros did, in my opinion. Charles Tyler's framework was the beginning. We saw our iteration with Tailor-Made Dreams in Dominican Republic. Then Aaron Ferris in his own iteration. And then we've also seen it go to a younger generation. And that's what Austin Holloman did. Before we saw Passport Bros, the age of Charles Tyler show, he was like in his mid-50s, Russell, then a little bit younger Aaron Ferris. Now we're getting guys in the mid-20s now. So, and that's where the mistakes are coming from. They're coming from largely guys under 30. And so now the issue is you trade notoriety and publicity for people who are under 40. You know, when you look at Al Grease is frustrated in the first batch of Black men traveling overseas, these guys were firefighters. These guys were professional business owners. These guys were, you know, very wealthy, had homes in the United States. And, you know, in order to travel to Brazil, even in the 80s or 90s with the legendary Mr. John, you had to be a Black man that was doing very well. Now you got guys in the Passport Bro community who are literally begging for cash apps, having live streams, begging for money to go to these places. And of course, those are the guys that make.
And I've seen that, bro. Niggas is straight begging. It's a lot going on right now. It's a lot going on. But then you have conversations with people and they're trying to usher somebody to leave America or leave something else, but you somewhere else in a whole nother country begging. Don't got no structure. A lot of these guys that's out flying in countries don't have no structure. You don't. You could end any one of them days. If you're not really focused, man, you out here living in the country. Just because, remember, when you're in a place for a while, you start to get comfortable. But regardless of what, son, you're not from these places. You can't even be comfortable in America, and you're American. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand that the odds ain't really in your favor. Maybe with some women because they want to find somebody different than the other people that's in the country. And maybe some of them women want to get the hell out that country and want to get a chance, possibility to go to America. That's what that's all about. So I get it. I get it that men are playing on that little thing right there. See what I'm saying? Because you ain't got to look like shit to go get some beautiful women or whatever you deem as a beautiful woman in some of these countries. We get that. Shit is third world. But it don't got no structure. A lot of it ain't got no structure. You know what I mean? We don't see none of them brothers really on some, yo, listen, man, they out here, they went to a couple of places. Yeah, they probably was dating, but then now they done found the woman they married. They, and this is what it's about. And you showing people some real life, and this is what it is, and this is family now. You done got kids and some real shit. It's just a cycle, grift that's going on. You run around dating this, dating that. One day they with a Rwandan girl you broke up with, all type of shit like that. That's cool. But that's the thing that entices young people to do the same thing. And now they might find themselves in a bad one. Straight. You know when you run around them country niggas trying to slip you a Mickey, they trying to slip you a drink. If it's anybody in the country they trying to slip a drink, it's an American or a foreigner. Straight, bruh. What you got, the pound? American dollar? What, euro? Oh, let's drink a coffee, bruh. Chill. Let's take a coffee. You know that. So when it comes down to that, I think that a lot of times, I understand if you want to get out and go where you want to go and do your thing, do that. But I don't know if a lot of these guys are qualified to tell some of these men that they need to do the same thing. That's my thing. That's my thing. A lot of them don't got no structure. And with no structure comes situations like Floyd is in. Because even if he wasn't attaching, because I heard he was allegedly trying to put things together and you know what I mean? But regardless, if you don't have no structure, you could just be around, talk to the wrong person, tell you the right thing, and find yourself in a bad situation. You got to have some things like, listen, I ain't on this, I ain't on that. You got to have some kind of structure, bro. You two flip-flops all around the world, bro. Doing weird shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. And y'all doing weird shit for some money is even weird. It's just all weird, bro. It's weird, bro. But some people thinking Floyd gonna hold water. That nigga snitching. I don't care what nobody told me. He facing 5 years in Sao Paulo, in Brazil somewhere, bro. Stop playing, bro. That's them jails when they run around like this with the straps in them like this. They run around like King Vaughn. Everybody King Vaughn in the building. You know that. You seen Locked Up Abroad, bro. Rio. Everybody running around like Vaughn. What are you talking about? What? And you there for them type of charges? I don't care where you think you at. Even if they into some weird shit wherever around the world. You are American, man. Okay? And we already know that some people, which is most people, I don't know how people living around the world, most people do not like when anybody has charges that's involving things like that. Children, you abusing up women and people like that, older people you trying to take advantage of. No. That's universal around the world. People don't like that. People don't like that. And even some of the people that is doing some of those things, they still gonna violate you for doing it. So Floyd's in a bad one. I don't think he is holding no water for nobody. I think he's already snitching. And if he knows anything about anything, he's giving it up. Okay. One in the chat, you think Floyd's snitching already? That's it, homie.
Mistakes. Look at the guys who made the last two mistakes. Jay Rello, beg for money. Floyd Wallace, beg for money. So the community of the Passport Bro guys who support these guys and give them money to go have to also be blamed. Now, is Austin Holloman to blame for the title of the Passport Bros? I can see what Aaron Ferris is saying, especially since they had a relationship and Austin was in the community. Could Austin have titled that video better? Yes, absolutely. He could have changed that to Passport Bro or somebody else, but the damage had already been done. And the damage that was done was not really, in my honest opinion, Austin's fault. I don't even think that Aaron Ferris of BMT is even blaming Austin for that. He's just saying that, look, you brought the guy into the community. Now you don't want to claim him. So, I mean, hey, what do you think about that? But the reality is that you have these people writing up about Passport Bros, calling them predators, you know, and that's because of the mistakes that these guys did. And that's what happens when you don't have framework. And when the framework isn't tight enough, you get anybody that can attack to your framework and you have problems because they are not vetted. And this can continue to happen. Then you have a younger generation of people who are coming in from, you don't know where they're coming from. Guys like Floyd who have some kind of mental problems. And the Passport Bros, I think, are having a tough time. Those who want to associate, those who no longer want to associate. And the civil war in the Passport Bro community is brewing, just like how we had it in the Black Manosphere community. And again, the framework must be reattached. But I think that it's just too late now. There's so many divisions of Passport Bros and there's so many guys doing their own thing that the community is just not controlled. And, you know, fortunately, I honestly feel that a lot of the good guys in community took a loss for some of the.
Listen, y'all. Floyd is in a whole heap of trouble. I'm gonna tell you the truth.